Wow, what a game to open up women's basketball. What a week for my young ladies. To think just the other day we're sitting at my house, crossing our fingers, looking at each other going, come on, just let us in. Let us in because we put so much work in. And then for us to see our name go up and we're going crazy, celebrating. And then the next thing you know, we're like, hey, we're in the play-in game. But they just have an attitude right now, an appreciation for the game, a love for the game, which you saw tonight. I'm the luckiest coach in the world, but like I keep saying, they're determined for big things and big goals, and our mindset right now is one game at a time. We have so much respect for Illinois because you had two teams. Again, I think it was great for women's basketball tonight, especially when there's not many games across the country. Everybody has an itch for March Madness. I know my team does. And so to have two highly competitive teams just absolutely get after it, what a great night for us on the end.
Okay, thank you, Coach. If you'd like to ask a question to the media, please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation, and we'll get a microphone to you.
Justin Fromer, Commercial Dispatch. Jessica, you were on the 2019 tournament team. I know you played sparingly during that run. What did tonight just mean for you, getting back to this stage and having the night that you did?
It just felt good being out there with my teammates and my coaches, just having fun, really.
Anastasia. No, I was going to say, she was having fun tonight. And I was having fun, too, watching her.
Anastasia, I guess what have the last couple weeks kind of been like for you guys? Obviously, getting out of the SEC tournament earlier than you would have liked. Was there a mentality you kind of saw from this team, a hunger to get back on the court?
Yes, definitely. We were hungry. We've worked really hard for the past 2 weeks. Losing first game in the SEC wasn't what we wanted, but we knew we may had another chance to get to March Madness. And when we seen our name on TV, and we went back and we worked really, really hard, and that's all we've did the past 2 weeks. Worked hard, worked on our execution, and just worked on just having fun, and yeah.
What was the difference in the third quarter? You guys outscored them by quite a bit, held them to just 8 points against what was said in the locker room at halftime, and what do you guys think was the difference? For any of you.
Give it to Jerk. Jerk, you want to take it since you got a mic? No? Go ahead, Annie.
Coach showed us that we were doing well, but just to pick it up on defense, and we kept getting caught in ball screens. So that was the main focus, to just to go over the ball screens. And when we did that and we played defense and our defense turned into offense and we were just playing, we had fun. It was just like AAU out there for a second. So that third quarter was just fun. And yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
I'll second that. No, they just had a look. Again, I got a special group of upperclassmen that are sitting up here. I've been saying it all year that, you know what, it gets to a point where we as coaches need to get out of the way, and it's player-led. They were leading the huddles. They were leading those moments. We had breakdowns. They were together in the locker room, and they were just a team that was determined that they were not going to lose. And we've been saying it all year. Why not us? And we just love what's coming our way. We love when people doubt us. That's what motivates us. That's what drives us in the gym. We believe in each other, and when it comes to March, that's the only thing that matters.
For Jessica and Jacayla, I know Coach Purcell won't talk about it much. So what does it mean to you guys that he gets his first March Madness win as a head coach?
Well, this is my first win too. So.
Amen.
Period. So honestly, I'm just grateful just to be here. I'm enjoying every moment of it, and like Coach Sam said, that's just the first one. When we get back to the hotel, one game at a time, and I have fun.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think this is that special sauce that we got going on right now. We've talked about all year. I've got especially these three up here. They're really, 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 can I say one more time, really good individuals. But for teams to get to this point, it's more than just an individual, it's a team. So that's what is this special bond that we got going on. I've got a group of people back there at that hotel that whether they're the athletic trainer, our senior women's administrator, our DOBO, we're all hands on deck right now. We're all trying to lift each other up and stay connected, and it's a vibe that it's fun to coach. When we all win, we all eat, and that's our mindset right now.
Anastasia, for you guys, Alana only played 4 minutes in that first half because of foul trouble, and she gets back in her second half. You guys kind of go on that big run, I guess. Outside of the stat sheet, how much do you think she contributed to what you guys were able to do in the third quarter?
Oh, I mean, she contributes a lot. She's a leader. Even though she didn't play the second half, she was still picking us up, or the first half, she was still picking us up, leading us, encouraging us. And, I told her at halftime, new game. So, and she stepped up, and, she's a really great teammate, and, yeah, she helped us a lot.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, ladies.
Good job, ladies.
Thank you.
Where are these pictures going? Can we keep them?
I'm mad that we didn't have the cowboy hat, jerk.
I'm gonna go get a new outfit.
We'll have to get on Luke, who is in charge of the boombox today. If you saw Twitter, he was too busy making sure it was charged, so I think he forgot the hat.
Okay, if anybody would like to ask a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Questions for Coach?
I got two for you. The first being going off the question about Elena missing most of the first half. You guys get 20 bench points. Just
Yeah.
how big were the supporting roles?
It was huge. It was huge. I know I'm keep on repeating myself, but I kept telling my young women when we saw this roster when it first started, if you'll trust me and you're willing to work together, we've got something special here because we've got depth. We've got multiple people that can step up night in and night out. And I think I speak for any coach across the country. Sometimes the hardest thing in our job is when a certain power individual doesn't have that night, for them to be okay because you had a team win. And what you're seeing right now is my team wants to win. It's not about an individual. So when one goes down, the next one steps up. It was just a beautiful performance from my young women that they just didn't want to lose. It was awesome to see.
And then you guys shoot 32% in the first half, but get to the line 12 times, hit 10 of them. They don't get to the line in the first half. Just how important was that aggressiveness and getting to the basket and getting those free looks?
No, it was huge because, again, Illinois is such a good defensive team. They make you work for everything. They clog the paint. We didn't want to come in here because, again, it's been a wild week. We found out that we were playing here. We had a shoot around the other day, but we had to go over so much of our opponent. We didn't get a lot of shots up. Today, we only had 1 hour, and I spent probably 40 minutes. So I knew there was parts of me that wanted to fill the gym, all right, which I love this gym, by the way, Purcell Pavilion, okay? Thank you. But just, again, don't settle for outside shots. We felt like we could have depth. We could go at them. We want to try to get them to their bench, and I thought we executed the game plan. But I also want to give a major shout-out to my staff. Again, I think with this play-in game, people understand the work that goes behind the scenes. When we found out, we were celebrating. I was celebrating my wife and kids, but my assistants had laptops right away, and they went to work. And again, that's that commitment that I couldn't be more proud to be the head coach. This was Corey Irvin's scout, but everybody on my staff contributed. There was moments in the games where I didn't make a right substitution, and that's that trust factor that you're seeing with me and my staff. They made some great calls. They gave me some great input. We were dialed in, and we didn't want to lose. And so now I'm going to ask them again when we get to the hotel, enjoy your meal, but we got to run it back. We got another one in 2 days.
Sam, first career tournament win as a head coach. Can you just take me through your emotions?
Here you go. You know you always get me. You get me. All right, I'm not doing it. No, again, it's not about me. I appreciate all the love and the recognition, but I would not be sitting here today if I wasn't coaching a great group of young women. For me to have my first year to get Annie Hayes, Jerkayla Jordan, and Jessica Carter, like, come on. That's the lottery. So, again, my goal as a head coach was just to restore the love. Love, like Annie said, she was talking about AAU. These kids who play AAU, they love the game. So I just wanted to restore the love, and then we got to Christmas, and then let's turn it up and become a team. So to answer your question again, it's awesome. I'm blessed with a group who believes in me. They trust me. They got my back, and then you'll see the locker room videos. They also dance with me, and I love it.
Sam, I know you and Ncaa are both first-year coaches here. I mean,
Yeah.
What's the key to earning that trust in the first year, and what did you see from her then, doing that kind of alongside you as well?
Yeah. No, obviously I have a great respect for her. I think we're both fortunate because if you look at our pedigree and the people before us, we've had great mentors and great coaches who've poured into us. So when given the opportunity to run our own program, we're prepared. We know what winning looks like. We understand what it takes, but we also understand when you get hit in the face, how to maintain that and don't fold and panic, but you know what? Bring them back up. And sometimes I think the best coaches also have to point the finger, which I know she is because I've listened multiple times at Final Fours and speaking events, that when things aren't right, we'll also take the blame and we're not just going to put it on the kids. So when you have that culture and that right kind of mix, that's why you see two teams of where they're at in their first year.
Sam, you had mentioned it kind of being the only game on TV, the first game of Women's March Madness. I guess on top of that, you're playing against a Big Ten team, and I know you've said in the past you believe the SEC is the best conference. How much did that all kind of add to it of, wanting to go on and put on a show and get a win on behalf of, the conference and everything you guys represent?
Yeah, great question. I'm glad you asked that. The coolest thing for me, obviously in year one, when you talk about being a first year head coach, my phone started like going crazy an hour and a half, and I'm like, well, my wife and kids are with me, so I know it's not an emergency. I'm like, who is blowing me up? And you know who it was? It was every SEC head coach. We have a thread, and they all were like, Sam, you set the tone, man. Good luck. Which, again, it's a special conference because you got special people. Do we want to beat each other night in and night out when we play in the conference? You better believe it. But also there's a class about how we go about things. There's a pride for what our league stands for. And for them to text me, being a first-year coach, and wishing me good luck and wanting us to set the tone, again, just I couldn't be happier to be in the best conference in women's basketball.
I know you always talk about why not us and how people have maybe written off Mississippi State women's basketball because the glory days might be in the past. But,
Amen.
Getting to the tournament was a big goal of yours.
Yeah.
And now you have a tournament win on top of that. What do you think that means for the program and proving those people wrong?
Well, based on my phone, all the recruits text me. It was a statement. Because again, there's so many narratives that could be easily put out there. Why go play for this guy who's never been a head coach? He has no earthly idea what he's doing. The program's done. Why go there? Because obviously there was great coaches before me, but they lost the juju. So for us to kindle that fire and embrace one of the best fan bases in the country, which I have, they're top 15 in the country, for them to join and believe in my young women and rekindle something special. And then obviously for us to get here and get to this point, we just didn't play, but we won. So now I think it's a statement across the country like, okay, they really have something special, which I know when this is over, it'll help a lot in recruiting and us moving forward.
Sam, you had to know that getting the ball in the paint was going to be your friend all night, but when you noticed that Bostic is obviously on one leg, was there talk at halftime about we have to throw it inside and we have to get it inside?
Yes. My coaches, I'm going to give them a shout out to them. Like, what are you doing? You're calling too many plays. Jessica Carter is the best thing out here right now. Get her the ball. And again, that's that chemistry I love with my staff. Again, I'm never perfect. I'm never going to come across that way. I make mistakes, and they clearly got me back in line, and we gave it to her. But outside the matchups, I've been saying it all year, Jessica Carter is one of the best stories of women's basketball. For the young lady to take a year off and to see her come back better than ever, but most importantly, have a smile and a joy that she plays the game at the highest level. It's awesome to watch. She blocks shots, but again, I think she had a charge, right? Like, who does that at her size? Who's willing to block shots but also sacrifice her body? But my favorite thing about Jessica Carter, she's the best person and the best teammate you could ever ask for. So in return, this coach better find a way to get her the ball more.
We'll have time for 2 more questions.
I know you talked about, NCAA experience, heading into the tournament, and we just talked about, Alana, she only gets 4 minutes in the first half and comes out and plays a huge part in that run you guys had there in the third quarter, I guess. What did you maybe even learn about her today that maybe you didn't even know in the past?
Well, I've always known her, obviously, because I coached her at Louisville. It's just her core. If you go back, there's a video I'll never forget when I was listening at the beginning of Media Day. They were like, or I think it's when I went to SEC Media Day. They were like, well, Alana, what's your goal? And she's like, you know what? I've been voted a captain. But within that captain, there's a responsibility that I take serious on my shoulders, that I'm going to lead these young women. And my biggest joy is when others succeed, I get a smile on my face. Who says that, right? So things are going well for her tonight, and that's what I thought right back to that moment. She was so happy for her teammates. It speaks volumes of her character, and I'm a big karma guy. Good things will happen to people like that who continue to act that way.